On the line, we have TNA wrestler Jesse Neal. He served in the United States Navy from 1998 to 2002 and was on board the USS Cole when it was suicide bombed on October 12, 2000. 17 soldiers lost their lives on that day. Jesse, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. It's an honor to be on your show.
Honor to have you. Take us back to 1998. What made you join the Navy originally?
Well, I was fresh out of high school. It was like 2 days after graduation. I actually left the boot camp. So, I was a snot-nosed punk, I guess they say, and, didn't have any direction or anything like that. My dad was a cop, and I didn't want to be a cop because all the crap he'd been through, I didn't want to have nothing to do with that. So, and plus, of course, anybody that joins the Navy wants to see the world. And so I went. I actually signed up my junior year and then left literally right after high school. So I got into it very fast.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, the infamous day, October 12th, 2000. What was going through your mind during that bombing of the USS Cole?
Yeah, definitely that date will live in my brain every day for the rest of my life. I'll tell you that. It's been, a little over 10 years. And I still relive that day as it was yesterday. And it started out as any other day. We went to our stations to pull into port to refuel. And we were like an emergency refuel because we had barely any fuel left. So we ported into Aden, Yemen. And things just didn't feel right with all of us anyways because it was, emergency refuel and we were rushing to get into the port. And, even when because I was on the bridge and I controlled the engines. Mm-hmm. So I basically pulled in. I think that's why I live with this burden a lot harder than a lot of us. Because I feel like I'm the one that did it. And when I say that, not obviously did the bombing, but I'm the one that put us in that spot because I'm the one that controlled the engines. Of course, the captain, told me orders, and I, did the port side engine, the starboard side engine, that type of stuff to pull us in. But I still feel like it's partially my fault because I helped pull us into that port. Obviously, I had no idea or anything like that, but of course, I'm human just like everybody else. And, I still live with that burden. And, like even last night and the night before, I still wake up at night with cold sweats, screaming in my sleep. And it's not just me, but it's all the vets that's been through things in their military career and stuff. But on that day, it started normal. We refueled. Everything actually went smooth with the refueling. It was unbelievable, because usually, there's always a hiccup somewhere, But everything went good, and just as we were about to be done, we got rocked, man. When I say we got rocked, it was bad. I pulled in, I helped pull in the ship, so I actually got a break during the refueling part of it. So what I did was before chow, which was lunchtime, I went down to my berthing where we slept, and I took a nap. And, I woke up, I hit my snooze button because I set my alarm to go eat chow. And as soon as I hit my snooze button, I was just looking at my pictures because I had them all taped up, from home and stuff like that, just looking at them. And, just, of course, like any other sailor or any other soldier that's over there, wishing they'd be home. But, they know they're doing a job and they got to do what they got to do for their country. And as soon as I was, just looking at my pictures from home, it rocked us, like I said, and it blew us all to hell, man. I got flung out of my bunk. A couple other guys from the berthing got flung out of their bunk because they were taking naps because we were up since 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and we just, I couldn't even explain how it happened. Us in berthing, because it was training, because we trained night and day for stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And when people talk about being ready and having readiness or whatever for something like, of course, everybody talks about 2012 and stuff, you never can be too ready. And that's what we did in the Navy, is we were so ready, we were so trained, and that's the only reason why we saved so many of our shipmates and our ship. It was unbelievable. When we brought the ship back to the United States, people were just in awe because how in the world did you come back with less casualties? I mean, of course, we lost 17 of our closest and good friends and family over there. Then I say family because that's what we are when we're over there. And my roommate and best friend, he actually passed away too, and he was family to me. He was like a brother, to me. And it just it sucks, like even over 10 years, I still get a tear. You know, I start tearing up when I talk about it, but it's so worth it talking about it and talking about that day, because people tend to forget, and you don't really want to blame them because they get caught up in everyday, you know, day in and day out lives, you know, in their own life. They don't really see the big picture, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it started off okay the day, and then it totally ended in disaster and hell, but we held it together, and our training brought us home as many as we could.
Jesse, you really shouldn't blame yourself. That could have happened anywhere that the ship was boarded.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I hear that a million times ever since it happened, and as they say, like, days make it go by, you know, easier and stuff. It really doesn't, but I'm starting to, you know, believe that. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been anybody on the helm, you know, and it could have been anybody, you know, being the captain, and anybody doing anything on the ship. It wasn't our fault. It was the people that, you know, did that to us. That was their fault, and other reasons that I can't talk about, but whatever.
Jesse, so this is Neal The Viz. First of all, let me thank you for being so candid and open with us about this obviously difficult topic. I've got to ask you, has the bombing of the USS Cole been the defining moment of your life?
Man, I'll tell you what, before that happened, I had no direction. None whatsoever. I mean, I was a good kid. I never, you know, did anything bad. My dad was a cop all my life. You know, he kept me in line pretty good. But after that moment, like, it's changed something to me. Like, something broke inside of me. And when I say something broke inside of me, it's not a bad thing. It happened because of a bad thing, but I turned it into a good thing. And what I did from then is I came home, and, of course, with post-traumatic stress, because, you know, I have it too, and, you know, the soldiers, when they come back, they have it. It's not even like something you can control. It's just something you got, and you got to deal with it. There's no healing. There's no healing for it. There's no nothing with it. But what I did was I turned all that anger, and of course I still have my anger moments, and I just can't help it, but I have my calming down moments as well, and I make up for it. But I turned that into something so spectacular where I went to Team 3D Academy right here in right where I'm at, Kissimmee, Florida. You know, I've been training there for almost 5 years now. Man, it's been that long. Because even though I'm on TV, I still train. It's always good to train and stuff. So, but I walked in there and I'm like, you know what? What made my decision to actually do that? I actually went through a lot of stuff when I got out of the military all the way up to the wrestling business. I went through a lot of stuff in my head where I had no direction again, and I had no idea what to do. But one day I was bouncing at a club, and because I was bouncing back and forth to job to job to job. But it's funny because I was bouncing at a club here in Orlando, and just me and two of my buddies were talking out back, and I just stopped, and I just look up, and I go, what the hell am I doing? Like, literally, I said that out loud. I met with one of my buddies just the other day, like a couple weeks ago, at one of my shows. And we talked about that day, man. It brought a tear to my eye and stuff. Because it just feels so good because I turned it into something good. And I just started the wrestling business. I said, screw it. Of course, I'd watched it since I was 5 years old, like everybody else, you know what I mean? And I was a Sting fan. Sorry, Hogan, but I was a Sting fan. and ever since, you know, I was 5 and stuff, used to go over to my uncle's house. Me and my cousin, my brother, used to go over there and watch it. So I had that.